Hey, a shout out to Plumbers and Pipe Fitters Local 25 for helping us set up and supporting this story, and for 115 years of training generations now building our communities. And Peterson Plumbing, a company with a history of competing, winning, and giving back.
I enjoyed getting sweaty and dirty, and I loved a good hard day's work. Could stand back and say, wow, I created this.
Part of a new generation reigniting the trades. Why do you think now more than ever this is a great opportunity for young people?
Oh, there's a lot of retirements. So in the trades in general, there's going to be a need for younger people. And truthfully, with the price of college, it's a good option. You can make pretty much the same money and not have the college debt.
Now more young men and women are making money and starting careers earlier, as making stuff with your hands and your brain power makes a big comeback. And they're having a little fun along the way.
To put Local 25 on the map.
Teams testing themselves, testing each other. But how far can this apprentice go?
I didn't think I had a chance.
Hey, I'm Gary Metivier. College campuses are filling up with students unsure what their futures will hold. Maybe that's why more young men and women are going through the doors of training centers like this and finding doors open they never expected. We show you how in the heart of the story. Well, you probably heard the trades are making a comeback. Skilled labor is in high demand. But beyond the high-paying potential, more and more young men and women are deciding this is what they were born to do. Carter Hagen is a perfect example. So do you remember the first thing that you worked on that you actually fixed and said, yes, I did that?
I think the very first thing I worked on, hands-on, was a Pinewood Derby car. It was with my Grandpa Hagen and my father. And I can remember it because I think we spent all night working on it, and I got to put on the little stickers, and of course I was like 4 or 5, actually, it might have been like 6 or 7. I don't remember exactly the age, but I can remember putting all the little stickers on. That was my favorite part of the whole process, put the stickers on, and we spent all night doing it, and I think the next day was the Pinewood Derby race. It was really exciting because we actually won. My very first Pinewood Derby, we won the whole thing and got these big trophies, and I was a little kid and the trophies were just as tall as I was, and it was great.
And you kind of discovered at an early age that you maybe have a talent for fixing stuff?
Yeah, I found that it was really exciting for me to kind of learn how things work. I mean, I enjoyed taking things apart, seeing how they work, seeing if I could put them back together and make them work again. Sometimes it worked, a lot of the times it didn't. You'd screw up and have to take it apart again, and it might not ever work the same. But I like the aspect of finding out how things work and finding out how it's made. Kind of like the TV show. I really love the TV show and how things are made.
When did you decide that maybe plumbing is a career that's interesting to you?
So I liked plumbing since I was a little kid. My dad was a plumber, my grandpa was a plumber, my great-grandpa was a plumber. My uncle is a plumber, so plumbing has been in my family for a long time. And I knew at a young age that I kind of want to do what my dad does, or I kind of want to do what my grandpa does. And I always thought it was really cool to kind of get into the same field as my family. But also my dad would have me help him when we did stuff around the house. Rather than just him do it himself, he enjoyed teaching me how to do things. And I loved it because I get to spend time with my dad and learn how things work and learn how to put things together. So I think at a young age, I realized that working with my hands is what I wanted to do, and plumbing was an easy asset for me to just hop into that.
You're an apprentice now. Tell us what an apprentice is.
Okay, so I am a 5th-year apprentice now. So basically, apprentice just means a student or a person that is learning a trade or craft. And so this is a 5-year apprenticeship. I'm in my 5th year now, and I have my last year, and then I take a couple code tests, and once I pass that, I'll be a journeyman plumber, which is basically a graduated apprentice.
Competition from that first derby to go-kart racing and beyond. Don't be fooled. This mild-mannered young man has a competitive spirit. It runs in the family. So what do you think happened when he heard the best of the best apprentices were about to go head-to-head in a little competition.
Luckily this year, so they have the state of Illinois apprentice contest, and there's 14 locals, I think, in Illinois, and so it usually travels around to different locals, and this year it was held at this hall. And so it was an easy drive for me. I didn't have to go very far, and I said, hey, why not? Just give it a shot, and worst thing that happens is I go home same way I went, so.
The apprentices get to work in this pretty cool setup. This is just the plumbing area. There are several rooms set up to test a number of trade skills. Carter got off to a great start. Then the results came in. The winner for the entire state of Illinois is...
And when they made the announcement of the winner, what was that like for you?
Oh, it was amazing. I hoot and hollered. It was crazy. I didn't think I had a chance. I wanted to stay as calm and collected as possible, and it was exciting.
Fast forward on to the district competition.
Did it feel like, did you have momentum going into that? Did you think, man, I just won the other one, I can get this? Or did you think, I'm probably in over my head, but I'm going to do my best?
I thought I was in a little over my head because I was kind of surprised to win the Illinois one because Chicago is in Illinois, and for instance, their hall has 130 apprentices in their class. Mine has 13. So they have a lot more people to pick from, and so I was amazed to make it past Chicago. And I always heard from people that, Illinois does a really good job at these competitions, and so I thought maybe I had a chance.
More than a chance, he won districts too, and now had a chance to make history. His coaches, his mentors were with him, going to the international competition.
Every once in a while you come across an individual that is sort of above and beyond some of the others. Let's talk about Carter for a second and this experience that you have been with him along this journey.
Yeah, I actually started out as Carter's plumbing instructor for his first 3 years. Then I transitioned to training coordinator for the last year, and about the last year and a half. So Craig Buckwalder took over as a plumbing instructor. But all of the instructors have had a hand in there. The plumbers go through some welding classes, some pipe fitting classes, some math. But yeah, he's definitely taken the bull by the horns, and he's run with it.
Craig played college basketball, uses those same skills in the trades.
I mean, it's all teamwork, right? And that's more life in general skills. You grow up doing sports, teamwork. It teaches you how to work with somebody else. A lot of times on the job site, in my experience, you're always working with somebody. You're having people tell you what to do. You're telling people what to do. Same thing on the court or in the field that you do. You have to be able to work with other people to accomplish a goal, and that's sort of what we're here for, accomplishing goals, finish jobs in a timely manner, doing it correctly the first time. That's sort of what we're teaching here.
Now all they can do is watch, quietly.
So you're watching your guy compete, and it's not like a basketball game where the stands are full, cheering fans. You kind of have to be a little more reserved.
That's correct.
What were you thinking? What was going on in your head? Were you get him?
Yeah, I mean, we were trying to leave them be, per se, but still show them that we're there.
But like real life, things were about to get much tougher. The trainers are sidelined. The apprentices put to the test like never before.
So on to international, and a bigger task at hand with several days.
Several days, yeah. This was much longer than I had prepared for, and much longer than I had before. So this was 5 days instead of 2 days, and it was a lot more intense. They had a full day of drawing and book knowledge, so we had a full day of testing, and I think I had 400 question written tests and then a 3-hour drawing, and so that was like the first 2 days. They spread it out over 2 days, and then they put a little bit of practical stuff in there too. There was a big practical test that was a 16-hour test, and then there was 3 or 4 4-hour tests in there. I went to that competition hoping that regardless of the outcome, I knew everybody else there was going to be really good. I mean, it's the reason that they're there is they'd beat out their own states, they'd beat out their own districts, and so the reason that they were there is because they were the best of their area. So I went into the competition just hoping that regardless of the outcome, I can leave knowing that I did the best that I could.
And life can be tough. Hollywood endings don't come every day. You get knocked down. Choose how to get back up. Carter thought he was prepared. In his mind, he knew the odds were against him, especially in the first of the 3 events, copper work, his least experienced.
I did the best that I could, and I used all the skills and training that I had from my classes, and I thought, man, if I could win that one, I mean, that would give me a pretty good heads up on the rest of them. So they gave away the copper project, and I ended up winning that one.
Leadership was next.
I got that award, and I thought for sure, man, this might be my night. This might be it. I mean, I only get one shot at this, and it might be it.
But the big prize was still out there. Who would win the title of Best Plumber? His coach's mentors were helpless. Win or lose, they were in this together. Just to get here was a victory they could celebrate.
I'm sort of a little bit of an animated person in myself, so for me just to sit there and not do anything is not in my nature.
And then, just like that, it was over.
The last award, which is the best plumber overall, so they line you all out, and of course I'm the shortest plumber there, and I was a little nervous, and they read my name off, and it felt amazing. I mean, it was everything I'd hoped and dreamed about and worked so hard to get. It was amazing to accomplish that.
Is it like a sport where the guys in the dugout are cheering on each other and then kind of like high fives and just power, or is it more reserved?
Oh no, it's there was a lot of hooting and hollering and a lot of yelling. Yeah, we're very proud of him. We're very excited. It's in our trade, sometimes you don't get recognized for extraordinary skills, which he possesses, and it was good to see it.
Yeah, I guess you would call that a Hollywood ending after all.
How rare is a win at this level of this kind?
Well, it was the first one in history of Local 25 since 1930 something.
To put Local 25 on the map, to show that the training here is working.
And you're a humble guy from a humble family.
Very humble. I like to think that you only get to make what you want of this world, and if you want to strive for the best, if you want to do something amazing, you got to just make yourself an amazing person. You got to try and do the best that you can do, and you got to help people along the way. It's not about putting down people. It's not about anything along those lines. You got to try and be the best person you can be. I hope to make a legacy, just kind of like how my family's done. I want to hopefully be the fourth generation to own Peterson Plumbing. I hopefully want to keep it around long enough and grow it so that maybe I can have some children or other family members that'd be interested in it. And I want to keep my family's legacy kind of alive. And that's my dream, basically.
Hey, help us share more inspiring stories. Click on that photo of me and subscribe. Leave a comment, tell a friend. More cool stories coming. The Heart of the Story with Gary Metivier.